It seemed like a wonderful foundation for their educational lives in terms of not only the approach to the classroom, but to helping kids resolve problems, to having teachers who had regular names and weren't divided from them by titles, and a lot of cooperation between the different ages of kids and seeking to incorporate Quaker principles in really meaningful ways.
So thought I knew a little bit about teaching and learning, and in looking at the options felt the care and concern of the people at the Richmond Friends School, the small size of classes, the way the teachers there sought out, as Quakers say, the teacher within and tried to find what would excite students about learning.
It was really wonderful to come from a place like Earlham, where I sort of had that opportunity to be immersed in Quaker education, and then to see kind of where the seeds start with the youngest.
The Richmond Friends School is unique. It's the only Quaker elementary school in the state of Indiana.
All the kids, regardless of grade, know one another, which is important. I don't think any kids are bullied there. It's really a place where every kid can be a kid and they can be themselves, and I think that that's really important. And so my son, in addition to like learning to read there and learning to like carry in math or something like that, he also has learned how to be a friend at that school.
So children can start here at 4, and from right off the bat we ground what we do academically in things that we call the spices. So principles and practices of Quaker education on simplicity, and peace, integrity, community, equality, and stewardship.
It's a school where he feels very much at home, very much part of a community, part of a family, loved and known and challenged, and his curiosity is celebrated and stimulated every day.
Like when they have an idea, they know that they can bring it to life. They don't just have to think it or just write about it or even just talk about it, but we can explore with it and find some way that we can take what they're interested in and turn it into something exciting. And it's really wonderful when they know that they can take something that's interesting and keep it going.
So we learn to be creative, but also to really take on projects for ourselves. And I think that has followed through in my education, and that when I didn't have opportunities to really make my own path, it was disappointing because we had been given so much freedom to take our education into our whole hands at the Friends School.
The teachers and the students and the parents really know one another. It's very, very much a community, and we derive a lot of support from one another, both as parents and the teachers and the students. We're always there to help each other out.
They do get to know each other. Every student, regardless of age, knows every other student by name, and they usually know more than just those students' names.
We have pen pals, which is where the older classrooms have younger kids from other classrooms, and on Wednesdays you get to kind of be with each other and do different activities with each other, and it helps the little kids become more like the older kids, and it helps the older kids become more mature with the younger kids.
They have blended classrooms, so he's always been in a class where there have been either older or younger students, and that way if a student's struggling a little bit in math, or one is excelling a little bit, they'll always find some comfort zone within the range of abilities.
Marcy tells me stories about all school meeting where kids will be in their pen pals, and that will be in between grades, so you might have a first grader or a kindergartner pen paling with a fifth grader or a sixth grader. And that kind of ability to have real and meaningful relationships across peer groups is another way in which the Friends School fosters a kind of relationship building and a kind of community spirit that I think is really special.
being here taught me to not judge anybody, taught me to just accept people, because around here, I mean, you're not always going to get the most open-minded people, but here I was taught at a very young age to accept everybody no matter what.
I realized that so much of my life has been in communities that encouraged us to really talk through conflict and not get to the point where we were being violent toward each other, either with our words or in other ways, and how rare that is in our society. To learn that at a very early age, learn to deal with your conflict.
We felt like we wanted to be involved in our kids' education, and Friends School, we were always welcome as parents to be there, to be part of their education.
I love that parents, especially new parents, have the opportunity to talk to their teachers at the end of every day, whether it's just to check in and have a nice update or to follow up on a challenge that may be occurring in the day.
When we sit down and talk with a teacher at Richmond Friends School about Robbie, it's generally 45 minutes or an hour, and it's deeply detailed and rich, and we're talking with somebody who knows Robbie enormously well and is talking over with us, and it's a really, really interesting relationship of partnership between teachers and parents.
Teachers are really terrific at the Friends School, and what makes them terrific, I think, is certainly their training and their experience, but it's also that they have the opportunity to shape the curriculum for the students they have in their classroom at that moment.
I am thankful every day for the patience, the love, the generosity of spirit that the teachers and the staff have there.
It's really a jewel in this community, and we are so incredibly fortunate to have been able to have Robbie go there for the years that he's been in school.
There's a gem here and a way of teaching and learning that needs to be modeled in the larger society, that influence could be carried beyond the Quaker schools.
Quakers have simply found a way to lift up in education some things that ought to be true of any school for any child, especially beginning with the idea that a child has to be known and loved in the context of the school and challenged, but in a context where there is always a sense of safety and support.
And like a lot of parents, we started thinking, you know, we'll do this for pre-K and then we'll see. And what we saw was that we wanted him to be there as long as possible, we wanted his sister to go there.
We're so happy it exists and for all that it contributed to our children and our family, and that it's doing that for other children and family as well.
If there's anything I really had to say, you know, muchísimas gracias. Muchísimas gracias.